Hello student. So after completion of the small intestine, let's start the large intestine. So large intestine, that is also called the colon, and the length of the large intestine, that is near about 1.5 meters. Okay. Then for the descriptive purpose, the large intestine, it should be divided into cecum and appendix. Second one, that is the colon. Third one, that is the rectum, and fourth, that is the anal canal. So let's start from the first part of the large intestine, that is the cecum. So here you can see the large intestine. In Ayurveda, large intestine, it is called the Bruhadantra. Then the length of that is the large intestine, that is from the cecum to that the anal canal near about 1.5 meter, and it extends from the right iliac fossa to that the anus in the perineum. ठीक है, starts from that is the ileocecal junction to that the anal canal. Apart from that is the transverse and the sigmoid colon, it is not fixed in position, that is the small intestine. Only that is the transverse colon and this is the sigmoid colon, that is covered with the mesocolon, and because of these two parts they are movable, and remaining part of the large intestine, they are fixed. Then let's see that is the functions of the large intestine. First one, that is absorption of water from fluid contents into that the colon. ठीक है. Second one, that is the storage, lubrication and expulsion of the feces. Third one, that is the synthesis of vitamin B by a normal bacterial flora which is present into the lumen of that is the colon. And last one, that is the protection from the invagination by the microorganism by its mucus secretion, which is rich with the IgA group of the antibodies. Okay? So these are the main function which is done by the large intestine. After then we should have to see that is the parts of the large intestine. So for the descriptive purpose, the large intestine, it is divided into that is the cecum and the appendix. So here you can see this is the cecum and this is the appendix. Then the colon means that the total part, green color, it is called the colon, and this colon that should be divided into ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon and the sigmoid colon. Then the next part, that is this is the rectum, and last one part, this part, that is the anal canal. Okay? So let's see that is the structure of the large intestine. So before starting the structure of the large intestine, let's see that is the peculiarities present or the cardinal features of the large intestine. So the first peculiarity, that is the large intestine, it is wider in caliber. So here you can see that is wider in caliber, and the caliber is greatest the lumen at the rectum forming the rectal ampulla. So here that the bulging part, it is called the rectal ampulla. Second one, that is the greater part of the large intestine, it is fixed, except that is the appendix, the transverse colon and the sigmoid colon. So these only these three parts, they are movable because that is covered by the mesocolon, that is the covered by the peritoneal membrane, and remaining part, these are only anteriorly covered. So these part are the fixed, that means the ascending colon, descending colon these parts, they are fixed. Cecum, they are fixed of the large intestine. Third one, that is the longitudinal muscle. You know that is the smooth muscle, they are present, and out of this, that is the longitudinal muscle coat forming only thin layer in this part of the gut, and the greater part it forming the three ribbon like band. So here in this diagram you can see that is the ribbon like band. So these three ribbon like band, it is called the tinea coli. So in another diagram you can see this one, so this is called the tinea coli, and proximally this tinea covers at the base of the appendix. Okay? and distally they are spread out to the terminal part of the sigmoid colon and continuous with the longitudinal muscle of the rectum. So here in this diagram you can see that is this band like structure, three band like structure, they are present in all parts of the large intestine, and it starts from that is the cecum, okay, and ends into that is the distal part of the sigmoid colon, and that should be spread the longitudinal muscle in the rectum. Okay, these three band like structure present the tinea coli. These are given the names, that is first which is present anteriorly, that is called the tinea libera, the posteromedially that is called the tinea mesocolica, and posterolaterally that is called the tinea omenthalis. So here in this diagram you can see that is the anterior band, this one it is called the tinea libera, then the posteromedial band it is called the tinea mesocolica, and the posterolateral band it is called the tinea omenthalis. Okay, in case of that is the transverse colon, that should be converted, that is the inferior, then the posterior and the anterior band it is forming that the superior band. Okay, so that is the tinea coli. After then we should have to see that is, since that is the tinea are shorter than the circular muscle coat, so the colon is punctured and it should be forming that the sacculation. So here this one, that the sacculated part, so that is occurs due to larger length of the circular muscular coat and the shorter length of the longitudinal muscular coat. Okay, apart from this, that is the small bags of the peritoneum which is filled with the fat called the appendicular epiploiky. So here you can see this one, it is seen like the appendix. So in this diagram again you can see this one, that is the pocket of the fat filled pocket, they are present in the most of the part of the large intestine, and very densely that should be present into that the sigmoid colon. Okay, so it is called the appendicular epiploiky. They are scattered in the surface of the intestine, and these are mostly numerous in the side of the sigmoid colon. Okay, so these are the speciality related with that the large intestine. After then we should have to see that is the structure of the large intestine. So the structure of large intestine, that is very much different in compare with the small intestine. Okay, so it is, so like the small intestine, the large intestine that is also made by the 4 layers from inner to outer side, that is the mucosa, submucosa, the muscular layer and the serosal layer or the adventitia. So let's see that is the mucosa. So mucosa does not present into the transverse circular fold. So like the small intestine, the transverse circular fold that is called the plica circularis or the plica semilunaris, and the villi are present in the small intestine. So these are totally absent. So here in the TS of the large intestine you can see that is inner side, that the plica semilunaris and the villi are totally absent. Okay, however that is the fold, temporarily folds of the mucosa and the submucosa they are present. Okay, then the surface of the epithelium of the large intestine, it is absorptive in nature and consists of columnar cells bearing the microvilli. Okay, then intestinal glands, that is called the crypts of Lieberkleins, are long and tubular and proceed a large number of the goblet cell. Okay, then the lamina propria, the second layer of the mucosal layer, is the mucous membrane contain a abundant diffuse lymphatic tissue, but the devoid of the Peyer's patches. Like the small intestine, the Peyer's patches are totally absent. Okay, then the second layer, that is the submucous layer, this one, outer to that the mucosal layer. So that is made by the loose areolar tissue and contains the blood vessels, lymph vessels and the nerve plexus, that is the Meissner plexus. Then the third one, that is the muscular layer. So it consists of outer longitudinal and inner circular. So here you can see outer longitudinal layer, and it should be forming, that is the tinea coli, this one longitudinal, and inner, that is the circular layer. Okay. So then the serosal layer or the adventitia, so it covers the transverse colon and the sigmoid colon, that is the fold of the peritoneum is present, that is called the transverse mesocolon and the sigmoid mesocolon, and that is also related with the appendix, so that is called the appendicular mesocolon. Okay. So these are the 4 layers present in the large intestine. So let's see the cecum, which is the first part of the large intestine. So it is the large sac-like structure. Here you can see present in the right iliac fossa above the lateral half of the inguinal ligament. Okay? It connects superior with the descending colon and inferior with the ileocecal junction. So here you can see that is the ileocecal junction, and here it is joins with the ascending colon. Okay, and medially, posteromedially, it is joins with the appendix. So here this one. So the length of the cecum, that is the 6 centimeter in long, and that is the 7.5 centimeter in breadth. That is, this is the one of the organ which have the greater width than the length, and the second organ, that is the prostate. Okay. Then the types of the cecum, so that should be occurs in 4 types. So here you can see, first it is seen like the conical in shape. Second one, it is seen like the quadrate in shape. So here you can see. Third one, it is seen like the normal type, it is called the ambulatory part, this one. And fourth one, it is the exaggerated type. Okay. So common, that is the ambulatory type. So most of the 78 or 80% peoples, that the ambulatory type of the cecum should be present. Okay. Then the relations of the appendix. So this one. So firstly we should have to see, that is the visceral relation. So anterior to that the cecum, that is the coils of small intestine are present, the greater omentum and anterior abdominal wall. Okay. And the posterior relations, here you can see, that is the posterior relations of the appendix, that is the right psoas major muscle. Here you can see that is the brown color muscles, the psoas major muscle, and the iliacus muscle, this one, that is present into that the iliac fossa. Then the femoral nerve. So here you can see, this is the femoral nerve, this one. Then lateral cutaneous nerve of thigh. So this one, this is. And the genitofemoral nerve of the right side. So this one, that is the genitofemoral nerve. Okay. Then the right gonadal vessel. So this is the right external iliac artery, this one large artery you can see, and the retrocecal recess. Okay. So these are the visceral relations. And the peritoneal relations, that is about the 90% of the individual cecum is almost completed surrounded by the peritoneum and has a wide retrocecal recess where it should be present the appendix, so called the retrocolic recess. Okay. So that is the cecum. Then the interior of the cecum. So interior of the cecum, it presents the 2 orifices. So here that is the ileocecal orifice, and second one, that is the appendicular orifice. So ileocecal orifice, that is the ileum that should be enters into that the cecum. So it should be forming that the orifice, so called the ileocecal orifice, and this ileocecal orifice, that is guarded by a ileocecal wall, so that prevent the backflow of the material present into that the cecum. Okay. Second one, that is the appendicular orifice. So appendicular orifice, that should be connect the appendix with that the cecum. The ileocecal wall has the two lips, that is this one the upper lip and this is the lower lip, and have the two frenula. So here that is the upper and the lower lip, they should be joined to form this frenulum, and here on this lateral side it should be forming the upper and lower limb, and here it should be forming that the frenulum. So that is the right posterior cecal frenulum, and this one that is the left anterior cecal frenulum. Okay? Then the blood supply of the cecum. So cecum, it should be supplied by the cecal branch of ileocolic artery. Okay? Then the venous drainage, that is the superior mesenteric vein. So here in this diagram you can see that is the blood supply of the cecum. So it is supplied by the branch of the ileocecal artery, and this ileocecal artery, it is the branch of the superior mesenteric artery, this one. The venous drainage, that is a cecal branch of ileocecal vein, and it should be drained into the superior mesenteric vein, which is drained into that the portal vein.